Hello everybody, welcome to the call. This is Expert in the House. My name is Dan Doyle. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm going to talk to you about an incredible breakthrough technology from a company called ASEA. Just want everybody to relax. We may have some guests on tonight that may be looking at this for all sorts of reasons, including their own health. I'm not here to sell you anything, just here to share some information. I'm just the messenger, so don't shoot me. Whatever you do with that information is totally up to you, but hopefully I have something pretty valuable that I can share with you, and it's going to help. So what I want to go into tonight is to talk to you about, and I want you to keep an open mind, what health practitioners and professionals around the world are considering to be the single greatest health science, anti-aging, and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. Now, there's a lot of reasons why people look at this technology, these breakthrough products, this company called ASEA. The first one is that you may have a health condition yourself, a health challenge that you're trying to deal with. You may know somebody, a loved one, a family member that has a health challenge. You may not like the way you're looking anymore, the way you're feeling anymore. You may understand the concept of looking after yourself. You may be an athlete and you're looking for an edge, or you might be looking for an opportunity. There. If it does, you're definitely in the right place. I'm going to talk about my story first. You'll understand why I'm so passionate about these products and this technology. Before I go into that, and I share some photos and talk about my story, I just want to go through the company disclaimer. We're going to talk about these marketing products, the ASEA cell signaling supplement and the Renew Advanced. And I just want to say that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Okay. So as I said, just to repeat what we're going to talk about tonight. Sorry guys, technical challenge already. Okay, the single greatest health science, anti-aging, and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. So I'm going to show you some photos. I'm going to talk about my story. I was into sports. I did judo and gymnastics. I played rugby league for a long time. I surfed, I did aerobics, and I did this thing called bodybuilding. This is a picture of me when I was 24 years old. And I just wanted to show you how I used to excel at my sports, but how I kept fit and healthy my entire life as a personal trainer back in the day. Competed bodybuilding, trained a lot of people in sports, and I also had a gym. So I had to be a product of the product when people were walking in the door. This is me 20 years later, at the age of 44 years old. And obviously I wasn't a bodybuilder in this photo here, but I did a lot of cardiovascular work. I was in the gym at 6:30 every morning, doing 40 kilometers on a stationary bike. And I just wanted to keep fit and healthy and be flexible and not have all that bulk on me. And hopefully you think I look pretty fit and healthy. As far as I knew, I was, but unfortunately I wasn't. I was in a lot of trouble with my health. I'm going to show you a photo 6 months later. So what you're seeing here is a photo from December 2010, and this is a picture of me in May 2011. And you can tell by this photo of me on the right-hand side what I could have been going through. Basically, my second home here in Sydney was a hospital in Sydney for 2.5 years, the Royal North Shore Hospital. And what they did to me in that hospital for that 2.5 years, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I had no hair, as you can see, from the top of my head to my toes. I had a fake smile, but deep down with what I was feeling, what I wanted to do was not be here. I really wanted to, I really didn't want to live with what I was going through and the issue that I had, and what they were putting me through. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor. He was 21 years old in this photo. He'd already been through what I'd been through before. He'd gone through those hospital visits. And unfortunately, Johnny had the good one and I had the bad one, but his came back and we lost him within 2 years of this photo at the age of 23. He was a professional rugby league player that played for Cronulla and Parramatta. His brother, Tim Manor, still plays for Parramatta. But as I said, it was really, really sad when we lost Johnny back in the day. I'm just hoping that everybody can hear me on the call. I'll just give me the heads up, guys, if you put in the chat box so you can hear me okay. Okay. Great. So basically at the end of that 2.5 years of those hospital visits, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. And I wanted to, at that stage, I wanted to live, I wanted to survive. So I did a bit of research, took the responsibility of my health back in my own hands, took it away from my doctors. And my research led to an alkaline diet and also led to a lot of products from a business model that I used to run away from, coming from traditional business, which was network marketing. And I tried a lot of products from companies like Zango, their mangosteen juice, Cellgevity from Max Products, Protandem from LifeVantage, Isogenics, there was a whole heap of them, Kangen water. And for 2 years I was on this pristine diet, this alkaline diet, taking all these products, spending a lot of money. And you would think my health would have been heading in the right direction, but this was a result of 2 years on this pristine diet and taking all these products. So what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was happening to me on the inside, and it wasn't good. I had a little bit more hair than I had previously, obviously from what they did to me in that hospital, but my skin, the red rings and yellow rings around my eyes, it was just a total reflection of what was happening on the inside. This is October 2014. Bart Cotter gave me a call about this time, a friend of mine from Queensland. He was in the United States at the time, and all he said to me was, I think I found something that can help. And I was desperate. He knew I was in trouble with my health. So within a week, I jumped on a plane with a friend of mine, Malcolm Swords from Queensland. We headed to Salt Lake City to Utah to meet Bart and to hear about this breakthrough. And Mal had a skin issue for 40 years. He spent over $100,000 trying to contain it, trying to get on top of it. And his skin wasn't heading in the right direction either. So he was looking at this for his health. So we met Bart in the headquarters of ASEA. We were sitting in the boardroom listening to the atomic and medical physicist, Dr. Gary Samuelson, going through the science about this breakthrough and this technology. And all the science was going over my head. I'm not a scientist, but something that I did understand is that these bottles were sitting on the table, and Dr. Gary Samuelson said what was in these bottles was 100% non-toxic, and it could have health benefits. So Mel and I were gorging it down. I went through about half a bottle in that short period of time. The presentation finished. We went back to the hotel. We were going to have a shower and get ready to meet the founders of ASEA, the company, and Dr. Gary Samuelson, and talk further on this breakthrough and the company. And I took off my shirt to have a shower, and to my surprise, I'm covered in these little red spots, not knowing at the time that these spots on my chest, my shoulders, and back was a detox. So what I was trying to achieve here in 2 years on this pristine alkaline diet, with spending a lot of money on, and a fortune on these products, was literally happening in 3 hours. So that was my first win. The second day, the next day I got up and I thought, I'm going to test this stuff that I was drinking the day before, and I've had a caffeine intolerance for 20 years. So I decided to test this stuff that we're drinking, and I decided to have 6 coffees. And any more than 2 coffees, because of this caffeine intolerance, I'm buckled over all day with bloating and issues. But after 6 coffees, I went through the day with nothing to remind me of what I enjoyed for 20 years. So that was win number 2. The next day, this is within 48 odd hours, I had so much lung damage from those hospital visits that I was having trouble speaking and breathing at the same time. But basically, the next day, my lungs were functioning perfectly. So I had 3 big wins in that very short period of time. I went back home. I came back home to Australia, and I kept drinking this stuff in a bottle, still not quite understanding what it was fully, still learning about it. I knew it couldn't do me any harm, so I kept drinking it. And basically, just after 12 months after this photo, the doctors gave me some very good news. So I'm going to show you a photo of the day I got that good news, and they said to me that the two major issues that I had in my body, they couldn't find any sign of anymore. And that was December 2015. So that was fantastic. That was some great news. But the things that were debilitating, the things that were annoying me every day for 35 odd years, which were injuries from playing sports. I had a neck problem, a shoulder problem, a hand problem, hip problems. I had pelvic problems, back problems. These things were getting worse and worse every single year, were all taken care of in the first 12 months with taking this product. My whole body was totally rebuilt. So that was my major health story and the benefits that I got from taking the product. This next photo is within the next 2 years of staying on the product, and you see the difference when it comes to the anti-aging side. So I'll just go back to 2014, 2015, and 2017. So you can see the transition with what this product was doing to my health, to my skin, to the way I looked, and it's just continued in leaps and bounds. I'm just going to stop sharing here, if I can. Come back to you guys. Okay. So before I go into this breakthrough and talking about the body's ability to heal itself, I just want to touch on how disease starts. Every issue on the planet that anybody has starts with a damaged cell that isn't detected. The body goes out of balance and out of whack. So when a cell isn't detected, it will divide into 2 damaged cells, as good cells do divide, and then into 4 damaged cells, 8, 16, so on. Is that your natural hair color? Oh, questions for finish, but it's yes. And then all of a sudden, with these cells dividing and spreading through the body, mutating, people can't feel these things going on, and it takes 5 to 20 years for these things to come to the surface, from a minor issue to a major life-threatening issue. There is a mechanism for the body to detect these cells, for our bodies to heal itself. We've all heard of the immune system. The immune system is very important, but every single major system in our body is. Everything it is in our body needs to come together to empower the body to heal us with what's happening. So I don't want to go too much into the science, but I'll just touch on what happens within a cell. We're made of 70% salt water. We have these little power plants called the mitochondria within the cell, and the mitochondria is responsible for producing the energy for the cell, the ATP. And what happens is a byproduct of energy production. There's a chemical reaction that takes place that changes the molecular structure of salt water into these molecules called redox signaling molecules. And these molecules are critical and crucial to life. They are responsible for so many things. The main things they're responsible for are detecting cells and then calling the body in to either protect the cell if it's good, repair it if it's damaged, or destroy and replace if it's too far gone. They're also responsible for activating antioxidants. You've all heard of antioxidants. These molecules activate antioxidants which are useless and do not work unless they're activated by these redox signaling molecules that we naturally produce. They are also key in the regulation of our 12 major systems. Immune system, pancreatic system, endocrine system, cardiovascular, digestive, skin, bone. These molecules are key in the regulation of every single major system in our body. They also detect the oxidative stress. That's the plaque that builds up in our arteries, for example, that leads to a heart disease, or bacteria, virus, infection. The body has no idea where these things are unless these things are detected. They're responsible for activating or turning on genes, opening up genetic pathways. These molecules are critical and crucial to life. Just to give you an example, we all know that we probably would live for a while if we stopped eating and kept drinking water. And it's normally around about 30 days, give or take. If you stop producing these molecules that you're producing to empower your body to heal itself, to keep your cells working at optimal level, if you stop producing them right now, you wouldn't survive the next few breaths. You'll be gone in a few seconds. I'll give you a physical example of how this works. There's a fair few people on this call. I don't know who's on this call. You're all muted, but if everybody can clap their hands hard 3 times, and I know what you're feeling right now once you've done that, is tingling in your hands. Now, what you've just done is damaged over 1 billion cells. Oh, yeah, thanks a lot, Dan. But anyway, what's happened is you've got your body coming in to heal that damage. And what's happened is that tingling of these redox signaling molecules signaling the immune system and the body to come in to repair those damaged cells. So that's the reaction that's happening in your body right now. Well, that's what has happened. It's happened in a split second. These molecules have a split second to do their job. So that's all great. Our body has the capacity to heal itself. Children are healing very fast, as we know, because they're producing an abundance of these redox signaling molecules. Now, because of the environmental impact of what we eat, breathe, and drink, as children get older, going into their teens, unfortunately, the cells aren't working as they did when they were born. Now, other ours. So what's happening is, as children get into their teens, into puberty, production of these molecules slow down. It's because of the environmental impact of what they're eating, drinking, and breathing, the toxins being intaken into the body. And by the time we get to 50, we only have 50% production of these molecules left. And don't forget, these things keep us alive. By the time we get to 70, we only have 10% production left. So now we have a 70-year-old that is healing 10 to 20 times slower as what they did at the age of 10 years old. That's all the bad news. Good news is we have a company, a breakthrough technology. This company is SEA, that has changed the molecular structure of salt water outside of our bodies, saline solution, through a 3.5-day electrochemical process where they pull the atoms apart and they reconstruct them into stabilized, balanced redox signaling molecules, the exact same molecules found in every single healthy cells in our bodies. So now we've got the ability to top up, to replenish a 70-year-old, an 80 and a 90-year-old to start healing and recovering like they did when they were 10 years old again. This is an incredible breakthrough. It didn't happen overnight. It took 17 years to do. There's an incredible story of how this company started. I'd recommend that everybody goes and does a search on the genesis of ASEA. You can find it on amazingmolecules.net or amazingmolecules.com. You need to hear about how this company started. I said it is an incredible story. So we've got something now that is 100% non-toxic, that is bioactive, which means it works, and it's native to the body, which means it's what our body produces. It is the only supplement on the planet that is like that. You can feed it to a newborn baby. These guys have come out with, since, that was a marquee product, a topical gel with the exact same molecules in it. So you can just imagine with seeing what this did for me from the inside out, you just imagine what drinking the molecules do and the results that I got by putting a topical gel on, which I used at the time. And the only claim that I can make, and I've been on this product and using this gel for 3.5 years, that prior to using it, I was quite ugly. So it can handle a lot of issues that people have. You saw the photos, guys. This is incredible. You can put this on anything you do not like on the outside of your body. So wrinkles, cellulite, bring back your skin elasticity and smoothness. But you can put that in your first aid kit and whack it on anything you don't like, including anything that hurts in your body. I'd like people to do what's called the 3 and 5. Get hold of this, put it on 3 times in 5 minutes, and see how you're feeling after 10. So incredible results when people do that. The company came out with a very small skincare range. They needed to come out with a cleanser for the skin before we put the Renew 28 on, which they've done. And then they also, obviously, after putting the Renew 28 on, they've come out with the serum. This is a lot more concentrated in the molecules. This has redox signaling molecules in it also for the fine lines. And then they've come out with a moisturizer to support the molecules. And just recently, in the last month, the company knows about how this technology is the best on the planet. There's nothing that comes close to what this does for anybody's body. But it's the signals and communication to call the body in to do that. It's not nutrition. It's not feeding our cells. It's not the building blocks of the cells. So the company's come out with this ASEA Via line. It's only one product at the moment. This is called Source. And what this is a whole foods micronutrient complex. So it's a multivitamin and mineral with phytonutrients, superfoods. Everything that I used to take in various supplements is now in this one container, and I can take 4 capsules a day, and this is feeding the cells the nutrition they need to build the building blocks of the cells and survive. This is the labor to make all this work, and including everything that you're putting into your body, everything that you're eating, everything that you're drinking, these molecules are signaling everything to work a lot more effectively and a lot more efficiently. I'm going to invite anybody to ask any questions while I'm talking on the product. But before you do, You may have specific questions about specific issues and conditions that you may have or loved ones. Please don't ask about specific things, only for the fact that I'm going to ask you a question back. And that question is, anytime that anybody asks me about this issue, that condition, that and whatnot, I ask, is there a cell involved? And the answer is yes every single time. And if there is, this technology, these products can more than likely help. And we're not just talking about in human beings, we're talking about in animals and plants, because they need the same molecules and made up of cells as well. So I'm just going to go to the chat box. Okay, so I've been asked, what am I taking now? I don't mind spending a lot of money on my health, and I know what this can do. I drink half a bottle a day, my wife drinks half a bottle a day, and we use a lot of skincare range, so we know what it's doing for us. I've been on that for 2.5 years now. Ever since I went up to that amount, I've maintained that. Even though there's nothing wrong in my body, I don't want anything to ever be wrong ever again with what I've experienced. I don't want to go through what I've been through. Okay, yeah, this is natural hair. There's some salt and pepper coming through now, but that's okay. I've got a little bit of grey at the side, but I have noticed over time it's really slowed down the process, and even a spot that the sun was getting to, it's actually being covered up now, so it's really good. Okay, lovely, thank you. We're going to go into another part of this, but before we do, it's going to be about the opportunity, which is there's an incredible opportunity here. For anybody who wants to use these products to do whatever they want to do, for whatever they want to achieve, for whatever their body's going through, just reach out to the person who got you onto this call. They can open up an account for you, and they'll give you access to these products at wholesale price, the best possible price. You can set up an account. Any questions, as I said, you're more than likely welcome to ask me any questions on the products. We are going to move into the opportunity side, because what we have here is an incredible gift, guys. We have got this vehicle called a SEER that, as you know now, that can take you back to your health, to looking younger, feeling younger, to living longer, healthier. As far as an athlete's concerned, to extra endurance, more strength, quicker recovery, and more clarity, mental stamina. And it's also a vehicle that can take you to anywhere you want financially. Someone's just heard about the product recently. Welcome, Tony, and hopefully this helps tonight. So going back 3 years ago, when I made a decision to start sharing this with people, I'll be honest with you, at first I had no intention, because I was only interested in my own health. But it became a responsibility with what I knew to share this with the world, and end up a purpose-filled mission. Vertus Norton, the owner, has left this legacy to us, and he didn't sell out to the pharmaceutical industry like he could have many times. I'm going to leave my legacy to the world because of what it's done for me, and I want to help a lot of people. But going back 3 years ago, I mean, I used to be successful in traditional business. I lost my health, I lost everything. We had built a lot of businesses, a lot of companies. Guys, when you haven't got your health, you haven't got anything. There's no wealth, there's nothing. So physically, financially, lost everything. Made a decision to engage in building the business and sharing this with people. Thank goodness there was a business model behind this. Otherwise, Bart wouldn't have called me, because you know, he wouldn't have got the thank you check for introducing me, and he ended up literally saving my life. So there is a business model here. I came from traditional business. I used to run away from this business model. I couldn't stand this business model, but I was naive. I had a closed mind. I know it is the best business model on the planet now. You've got traditional business, hard work, overheads, staff. You've got a whole product. There's a lot of money invested. You need a return on that investment. A lot of risk. And I've also been in normal jobs, corporate jobs, exchanging time for money. So 3 years ago, I was struggling to put food on the table. I made a decision to share this with people. My first goal was to literally be able to pay for more product for myself. I knew I needed more product. I needed to get more product in my body with the issue that I had. So I started sharing with people, and then all of a sudden the thank you checks started coming in, and I started increasing the amount of product. My health kept improving. It gave me the energy to talk to more people, to get out there, to share this with more people. Within 12 months, I ended up what's called a diamond ring. Now, back in the day when I was in traditional business, even though I hated this industry in network marketing, multi-level marketing, used to hear people achieve diamonds in certain companies, you know, this way, that way, the other way. And, you know, I used to think, wow, you know, with somebody who's earned diamonds, done well, and they're obviously earning good money. Fast forward to now, you know, I'd say to people, you have to build this like a business. It is a business. It's a serious business. Don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. Just get out there and do it. Or if you're used to being in a job, treat it like a job. Be the hardest boss you can be on yourself. Right now, I've been in the business for 3 years. There's a lot of people in this company I've bypassed on rank, on income. And that's because I'm so passionate about it and I'm working so hard at it. And I don't waste a second of the day talking to people or wasting any time. I just want to make sure I'm productive, and I don't lose anybody on my watch, basically. So when I wake up in the morning now, I wake up with a mindset that I had 3 years ago. Like I was in survival mode, like I had to put food on the table, I had to pay for products. And if I wake up with that mindset, personally, I'm going to be very, very productive. I'm going to have the biggest impact on more people that I could ever imagine if I wake up with that mindset and I really go for it with all out massive action from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. The only investment in a business like this is your time. That is the only investment. So, you know, you're not paying out for businesses that may or may not work. It's time. The great thing about this company, it's been around since 2010. It's past the 5-year mark. The guys at the helm of this company are strategic business planning experts. They were involved in running Fortune 50 companies. This company ticks every single box. The compensation plan, all the incentives, the promos, the trips, everything is just absolutely incredible. So they tick every single box. So if you've been involved in this type of business, or if you're in traditional business, if you're employed by somebody, this is the best opportunity, the biggest opportunity. I've never seen an opportunity like this in my entire life. I'm not here to convince you that this is something that you should do or have to do. But if you make a decision to do this, we are here to help. There is a lot of tools. There's a lot of infrastructure in place to support you to do this. And all you need to do is point people in our direction to help you, to take you to wherever you want to go with this opportunity. So if that's, as I said, health, or just looking younger, feeling younger, living longer, healthier, or this financial opportunity, we just want everybody to reach out that wants to achieve anything from this, so we can physically help you and work with you to achieve your goals. This call's on every single week. Jeff and Akiko Wood are on next week at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. On the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. We do have a lot of events coming up. We do have one that I'm doing live in Adelaide on Saturday morning. And there's also a broadcast event, a Zoom broadcast event, and I'm doing a live presentation to a lot of health practitioners in Adelaide, which you can join if you bring a health practitioner onto the call. Any questions that are going to come in for that call are only going to be from health practitioners. Guys, more than welcome to join, but please bring a health practitioner, and please be mindful that the questions asked are only from anybody who is a health practitioner on that call. Monday night I will be in Melbourne doing a presentation. For all these times and all these events, there's some links on the screen to get to various things, but reach out to the person who introduced you to this, to your upline, to find out when these things are on. I'll be going back to Asia at the end of next week. I've been to Asia twice this year, for the first time apart from Bali, to Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan. Very exciting place, love the place, love the food, love the culture, love the people, and they're dynamic and things are moving very, very fast. So I'm physically going there to support everybody who wants to get this to the world. Guys, we've got a massive job to do. This is a big project. As I said, if you want the product, make sure that you go back to the person who introduced you. Don't muck around with it. Don't just try it for a week or a month. Get on it for 3 months. We've got the stats that show that if you're on it for 3 months, you're going to physically feel or see something. 90% of people will. The other 10% of people probably don't take it properly or don't take it at all. But keep in mind, it's scientifically impossible not to work in your body. As soon as it goes in with the first millionth of the second or first step, it is working. Thank you so much for coming on to the call tonight. Please join us next week with Expert in the House. Bring as many people as possible onto these calls. I can't get this to the world by myself, but Melissa, you can see on the screen, they can't do this by themselves. We need all the help we can get. We're here to help you and support you for whatever you want to do with this opportunity. Guys, thank you for being on here. Hopefully you enjoy the gift of a seer, and we'll see you on the next call soon. Thank you.